What's going on, Simply Sepe crew? Back at it again, this time with a revised version of my Yu-Gi-Oh! First edition graded slabs. So all my slabs are from PSA, and what I'm going to be doing is telling you a couple things. The SMR value, which is what PSA concludes as the fair market value for the card, not the appraisal value for what it has currently sold at. And that's all of the prices are going to be in the current market as of today. So we're going to go through those two price points. We're also going to go through the population, and we're going to go through the cards essentially that I pulled from packs versus the ones that I had to buy from another collector. So I always, for some reason, I always found the ones that I pulled from packs myself to be extremely nostalgic, so let's get right to it. Going from right to left, we start off with Magic Jammer. So let me actually move this back in the light because it's a gorgeous holographic that I want to be encapsulated in this video. But essentially Magic Jammer, and I'm gonna kind of continue on through a lot of these. Magic Jammer has a population of 47 PSA 10s, which is huge, which is huge for me, but a very small population, right? So I pulled this Magic Jammer from a pack and had it graded. It's a ultra rare card in the Metal Raiders set, and basically the current SMR value, which would be the fair market value discussed by PSA, is $750. The APR value, which is like the appraisal value, is definitely less than that. Magic Jammer being a popular card, but not as popular as some of the other cards in the set. But I want this video to be somewhat light, somewhat breezy, so I'm going to try to keep this as quick as physically possible. So going to the next card, we have a Harpy Lady Sisters. I had this graded and pulled from packs, so I didn't purchase this from another collector. But what's interesting about Harpy Lady Sisters is that the Harpy Lady card, also at PSA 10, is more valuable at this point than Harpy Lady Sisters is, which is a super rare versus a common card, which is extremely interesting in my opinion. Why it's more valuable right now, I don't know. So for the Harpy Lady Sisters First Edition, we have a population of 79, so again, still under 100 in the world. For the English set, let me be clear. And the SMR value is $150, and the last sale that took place for Harpy Lady Sisters was around $500, so it appraises a little bit higher than its current value. Just to be clear, because I always like to keep honesty first and foremost, I do have my PSA set registry to the right of the screen, so that way it makes it a little bit easier for me to kind of truncate through these data sets. So going on to the next one, which is Horn of Heaven, which is also another beautiful trap card. You can see via the holo, and there will be some reflection you can see of the light, but I feel like with the light it allows for the best visual of the holographic. So Horn of Heaven is basically $900 for the SMR value, right? So that's by PSA, and it appraises for a little bit less than that. It's about $400 to $500 in terms of sales, and it has a population of 59. So again, still under 100. A lot of these are going to be under 100 in the world, and I pulled Horn of Heaven from a pack, so that's also pretty cool. So I'll just actually call out this. I had this card in the unlimited version when I was really young, and I was extremely excited to pull this from a pack, extremely excited that it graded for PSA 10. I was just blown back when this came back at 10, and when I opened the pack it was insane. But the PSA value for this is around $2,300, and it appraises for a little bit less. I think it's because the population is at 89, so there is a decent amount of these out there. Still under 100 though, but that's what I would have to attribute to the value of that card. So for the first one that I actually had to purchase from another collector, was my Barrel Dragon. So I am extremely excited about the Barrel Dragon. I had to purchase it at a premium, unfortunately. But if you recall, this was one that was used quite often by, I believe it was Bandit Keith back in the anime. But we essentially have a PSA value of $1,200, and it appraises for around the same. But as I said, I paid a premium to get this card because I wanted it so badly. The next one is one of the 3 of the Gate Guardian set, so Kazijin of the Wind, right? Also first edition. I pulled this one from PAX, and again, I was blown back when I pulled this from PAX. Originally, this was worth $150 when I had pulled it and had it graded. Now it is worth $300, and it's just a gorgeous card. So there are 81 of these in the world. I actually pulled 2 of them from PAX. Not in PSA 10, I pulled a 10 and a 9. So moving on, another one of my favorites is Change of Heart, used by Bakura in the anime. PSA 10, I had to buy this from a collector. Again, well, actually, I bought this from a reseller, Troll and Toad, which I buy a lot of my products from. And it was actually a very smooth transaction. But again, I did have to pay a premium for it. The current SMR value is $1,600, and it appraises for around $1,800 to $2,000 based on current sales. And there are, for this card specifically, 80 cards in the world, right? So let's just look at how gorgeous this card is. It was always one of my favorites. Tribute to the Doomed is the next one, which I had pulled from PAX. Not overly valuable, but I feel like it's a really cool, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I feel like it's a pretty cool super rare card. 73 population in the world. It appraises at about $130. That's what they're basically going for. The fair market value, not in this inflated market, would be around $85, but still a pretty cool card to have, and one that I pulled myself. Again, that is a super rare. So moving on to the 7 Tools of the Bandit. This is another beautiful trap card. I pulled this from PAX myself. There are 50 of these in the world. This appraises at around $300, and the PSA fair market value is actually higher than that. It's about $500 to $600 for 7 Tools of the Bandit. So I'm right now going for a complete Metal Raider set, but I have to still get some of the commons and uncommons graded. So moving on to another part of the Gate Guardian set is Sangre of the Thunder. So Sangre of the Thunder, being the headpiece, basically, was always one of my favorites because I always have had an affinity for electricity. So Sangre of the Thunder, PSA 10, this appraises for around $300, and the SMR value is also $300. I only think that's because the last sales that have occurred from this happened, I would say 2020 to 2019 for when this was PSA 10. I paid a lot more than the $300 fair market value because I'm trying to complete my collection. And there's a population of 68. I don't know if I said that. Kuriboh. So this is also a very nice card used by Yugi in the anime. Well, technically Yami, right? Yugi only really battles in 2 duels, if you were curious. But this was one that my wife was very excited about. Me, not so much, but it is a cool card to have to your collection, and also because of the nostalgia factor. This card is fair market value $650, which is insanely high. It's been selling for around $500, which is a little bit lower, but that's still of very high value. The next couple, and I'm going to breeze through these because I'm trying to keep it at less than 15 minutes, is essentially non-Metal Raiders ones, but ones that I think are just gorgeous first editions. My favorite, which I really wish that I had pulled a PSA 10, is Jinzo, right? The secret rare from Pharaoh's Servant. And I've pulled this card twice, and it's graded for a 9. And I just look at the holographic and the shine. It's still, in my opinion, like one of the most gorgeous cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And this PSA 9 actually fair market value is $1,100. It sells for about $2,000, so it appraises for much higher. And there's only 94 in the world. I haven't seen, and I've had two of them, which has been really cool. I haven't seen any PSA 10s for sale for a long time. So, and that actually in Jinzo, just to be really quick about it, Jinzo was used in the Battle City tournament, first appearance against Joey Wheeler. So that was pretty cool. The next one, used by Pegasus in Duelist Kingdom, if you're familiar with the anime, is Toon World, which I had pulled from a pack, a Magic Ruler pack, which was later named Spell Ruler, for those who are familiar with the later releases. But PSA 10, this goes for, I've seen it appraise at around $500 to $700. The latest one, PSA 10, sold for about $1,000. The fair market value of this is only around $200 to $300, but I think the nostalgia factor that it's been used by Pegasus for so long really kind of upscaled the value. There are 77 of those in the world. And then one of my favorites, I had this in a PSA 9, I had to get it in a PSA 10, is the Dark Magician of Chaos. Still a banned card to this day, but one of my favorites, used by Yami to defeat Pegasus in Duelist Kingdom in Season 1. And this card right now, the fair market value is about $2,000. I spent a little bit more, not too much more of a premium, but essentially I love this card. I really wish the, what was it? The ritual card that came along with this was in one of the big 4 sets of the 2002 releases, but it was not. I thought it would be. I know Invasion of Chaos is 2004, but this first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out around the same time that the cards did. So anyway, this has been my video, my update around my graded slabs for first edition Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope you enjoyed. I have a couple of really cool videos coming up. I'm opening 100 packs of Shining Fates in the next week or so. I'm also doing a video on the amount of sales that I've made in the past year to 3 months to show you basically how much the TCG market has gone up because of all of the interest in it. And if if you stayed with me for this long, I really do appreciate it. And this is simply Sepe signing off.